this was one of the very important demand which we were clearly, we have been hearing about this from across the industries, also from consumer. It was when it was launched, the GST regime, if you remember, there was a lot of clamor and confusion about so many kind of rate structures, right? I mean, very unusual because other countries which had implemented GST before India normally had a few structures. Of course, it was a necessity. Sachin covered that we were moving from a very complex set of state-wise or VAT regime and excise regime to this simplified. It was necessary, but I think with the stabilization of reforms, with the compliances kind of becoming stronger and the government building its own intelligence, etc., around this, it was necessary to move towards simplification, towards simplification. I think in that sense, having the lesser category of rates was very important. So I think what's happened now is we have done away with the slabs of 12 and 28%. So essentially, it's become a two-slab structure, very simple. We have the standard rate of 18%. 5% is a merit rate for the goods which are essential from a consumer point of view, which the government wants to promote. And of course, then we have this the sin or the luxury goods rate at 40%. So I think in that way, it's a big reform from a simplification perspective. Obviously, this reduces the disputes from the business point of view. The rate harmonization also kind of corrects the inverted duty structures. I mean, still there are certain pending issues, but to a large extent, a lot of inverted duty structures and the ITC getting stuck because of these, the government has tried to address. The other thing which I would want to pick up is, which Sachin also covered, is GST. For any tax regime to be stable, there has to be an appellate tribunal. And I think in that sense, frankly, this has got delayed. There was always a provision, but implementation of the appellate tribunal became delayed. It was also leading to a lot of litigation in a pendency with various courts and very cumbersome from a business point of view, because you want certain things to come from appellate level itself, tribunal level itself. So I think in that sense, I think thankfully, it's not just been announced, but also the implementation is being done at a very fast pace. November, I think end of November, we will have the start of this principal bench in Delhi. And then, of course, we're going to cover all these states. So hopefully it's going to be well covered in terms of the reach across all states. I think the other thing is the refund simplification against, right? I mean, refund simplification we saw. And surprisingly, when the government was always focusing on promoting the exports, despite that, we had seen that a lot of refunds were getting stuck, right? Because of the operational bottlenecks, because of the interpretation by the authorities over the various notifications, etc. So I think in that sense also, the change really helps, right? I mean, the simplification which is brought in terms of clarity, in terms of reducing the inverted duty structures, rate harmonization across the entire value chain. And of course, the other thing is that if you look at it from and I think we should talk about this in detail as we go across, about certain sectors, right, which are struggling because of the problem business sectors. For example, you spoke about GCC, right? GCC is again becoming a very important sector, and we had the challenges linked to the intermediary supply there, right? Which is again a big welcome step by the government. Our ITES, GCC was struggling because of the procedural bottleneck, the interpretation issues there. So I think in that sense also it's a very welcoming